Hi, I'm Sam, Operations Manager at Alpenglow Expeditions. We're here to talk about rapid ascent and pre-acclimatization with Hypoxico Altitude Training Systems. In this video, we'll talk about what to expect when your system arrives, how to set up the equipment, and the process of pre-acclimatization. When you sign up for a rapid ascent trip, you'll be pre-acclimatizing for either 4, 6, or 8 weeks, depending on the expedition you plan to join. When you sign up, you'll be introduced to an Alpenglow Expeditions client portal, where we'll gather a bunch of information on your trip from you. Part of this will be your shipping address. Please note, if you live outside the lower 48 states, special arrangements may be needed, and there may be an additional fee. Please contact the office. When your equipment arrives, there'll be 2 boxes. The first box will contain a generator, as well as a tube, filter, and accessories. The second box is going to contain a head tent. After years of experience pre-acclimatizing, we've found a head tent is much more efficient than a bed tent. Please note, when you receive your boxes, do not dispose of the cardboard. You'll use these boxes to return the equipment back to Hypoxico after your pre-acclimatization period. When you unpack box 1, this is the equipment that you'll find. The generator, tube, and filter, as well as the pulse oximeter, is what you'll use for the first bit of your pre-acclimatization. As you get higher in altitude, you'll add the high altitude adapter and will need to use an oxygen monitor in order to ensure you're at the right altitude. There's also a mass-based exercise system that you may choose to use but is not part of our regular programming. Building on our equipment, in box 2 we have the head tent, which is made up of tent poles and the tent itself. When you're ready to set up your equipment, it's important to follow the user manual provided in the box by Hypoxico Altitude Training Systems. First, we're going to want to set up the head tent. When preparing your generator, you'll want to locate it nearby an electrical outlet. It can be nice to locate the generator outside of your bedroom, as there's a slight humming sound that comes from the unit when it's operating. You don't want to place the generator inside of a closet with limited airflow. Once you plug the generator in, you'll place the gray end of the tube into the gray slot on the generator. All you need to do is press it firmly until it clicks. The other end of the tube, without the gray fitting, will go into your Hypoxico tent. There are 3 places that you can insert the fitting. However, we prefer the back of the tent at the very top. You'll want to add the HEPA filter to the tube, simply placing it on the HEPA filter, and then insert the HEPA filter into the tent and zip it closed, ensuring that you limit the amount of room that there is for air to escape. Once all of your equipment is set up, you'll want to turn the generator on. There's a power button on the monitor, as well as an adjustment for your altitude. When you start up the equipment, you'll hear a beep. Let the generator go through its normal process, and then pick your desired altitude. There's a convenient chart on the side of the generator that helps you convert the setting number to both feet and meters. Remember, if you live at elevation, anything above sea level, you'll want to add the setting equivalent elevation to the elevation that you live at. When you reach setting 12 on your generator, about 13,000 feet and day 17 of pre-acclimatization, you'll need to add the high altitude adapter and oxygen monitor to your setup. To add the high altitude adapter, you'll want to plug the gray valve into the generator, pressing firmly, and add the white valve to the white valve on the generator, again pressing firmly until it clicks. Your hose will then go into the other side of the high altitude adapter. When the generator is set to 12 and the valve is closed or in a perpendicular position to the flow, you will be at setting 12. When the valve is turned all the way open, you have maximum flow, which simulates about 21,000 feet. Obviously, we're not going directly to 21,000 feet, so we'll need to find a position in between off and open to simulate the desired altitude. That's where your oxygen monitor comes in. We can guess based on the flow, but we'll want to confirm each and every time that we're at the desired altitude before hopping into the tent at night. After calibrating the oxygen monitor per the instructions, the monitor is inserted onto the end of the HEPA filter, which is then again inserted inside the tent. While it's always important to follow the instructions while using this equipment, it becomes particularly important when you introduce the high altitude adapter to the system. Throughout this process, it's important to monitor your oxygen saturation and ensure that you don't dip below the mid-70s. We use a pulse oximeter to monitor our progress and ensure we're pre-acclimatizing properly. We monitor our progress both in the evening, right when we get in the tent, to create a baseline, and again in the morning after we've spent 8 hours in the tent. To use a pulse oximeter, we simply put our finger into the unit and turn the unit on. Additionally, if you have any prior medical conditions, please consult your doctor before using Hypoxico Altitude Training Systems.